Hello Solana, my name's Chris Wilson, and in this video, we will deploy a program on Solana Devnet. We will be continuing with the same React app we've been building in the Solana pathway. So make sure you've done all of the previous steps before continuing this one. We can just jump in here and click Next Step and View Instructions. Deploy a program. A program is to Solana what a smart contract is to other protocols. Once a program is deployed, any app can interact with it by sending a transaction to a Solana cluster and passing it to the program. You can write Solana programs in C or Rust. You can learn more about Solana's programs by following this link right here. So far, we've been using Solana's JS API to interact with the blockchain. In this chapter, we will deploy a Solana program using another Solana developer tool, their CLI. Then we'll install it and use it through our terminal. Installing Rust and configure the Solana CLI. Let's start with downloading Rust and Solana version 1.6.6 from the links provided. So we'll just go right here. And because I am using a subsystem for Linux, I will run this command in my terminal like so. But I've already installed it, so I don't need to do that. However, you will just hit enter and it will install. But good hint here, if you don't have another terminal open, you can go right here and go to split and go bash. And it will open up another terminal next to your running app. So you don't have to end it to do this. Next, we will go and grab Solana. And since I'm on a Linux, we will copy this one and throw it down in here and hit enter. But I already have it, so we won't be downloading it again. So now we can set the CLI Config URL to the Devnet cluster by running this command in our terminal. Let's go ahead and copy that, hit enter, commitment confirmed. All right. If this is your first time using the Solana CLI, you'll need to generate a new Keypair. It will be written to config solana id.json, and this will be used every time we use the CLI. So we can run this in here, and that'll generate one. Let's control click this, and we can open that up and see our string right there under id.json. How beautiful is that? Understanding the Hello World program. There is a program folder here under SRC and LIBS. We start by using the Borscht crate. Borscht stands for Binary Object Representation Serializer for hashing. Then doing some standard includes from the Solana program crate, one of which is the macro we use next to declare any entry point, the process instruction function. The program ID will be the public key where the contract is stored, and the account info is the account to say hello to. Taking a quick detour out of the program code to peek at account info structure, we see that the account owner is also going to be a public key. Back to the Hello World code. We return value program result is where the magic happens. We can print this message to the program log with the message macro by looping through the accounts using an iterator. Accounts iter is taking a mutable reference of each value in accounts. Next account info is going to return the next account info or a not enough accounts key error. Notice the question mark at the end. This is a shortcut expression for error propagation. We will perform a security check to see if the account owner has permission. If the account owner does not equal the program ID, we will return an error. Finally, we get to the good stuff where we borrow the existing account data, increase the value of counter by 1 and write it back to storage. The greeting account struct has only one field, counter. To be able to modify it, we need to borrow the reference to account data with the and borrow operator. The borrow function comes from the Rust core library and exists to immutably borrow the wrapped value. Incrementing the value by 1 is simple using the addition assignment operator plus equals 1. We will serialize the changed value using the serialize function from the Borscht crate. This allows it to be sent back to Solana in the correct format. We can then show in the program log how many times the count has been incremented with the message macro. And here's an overview. Testing the program. To ensure that the program code has no obvious bugs and passes any tests defined in the source file, it's good to run the unit test before building and deploying. Here's what the default unit test for this program looks like. Simply run the command cargo test inside of the Learn Solana dApp program subdirectory. The first time you do this, Cargo will need to compile a lot of related crates, LBC, Borscht, the Solana crates, even the program we are testing. This process can take a few minutes, but future tests will occur much more rapidly once everything is compiled. So in order to do that, we can right-click and we can go Open an Integrated Terminal. And here is where we can run Cargo Test. Here's the output we are looking for. Test result, okay. 1 passed, 0 failed, 0 ignored, 0 measured, 0 filtered out. Look at that, and that's what we want. Awesome. Build the program. The first thing we're going to do is compile the Rust program to prepare it for the CLI. To do this, we're going to use a custom script that's in package.json. And here is what that script looks like in our package.json, and we can find that right here. And our script is right there. How cool is that? All we have to do is call that and it'll do it for us. And we can do that by running yarn run build. There we go. Hit enter. This step can take 5 or 10 minutes, depending. If it's successful, you'll see a new folder in your app which contains the compiled contract, helloworld.so. The SO extension does not stand for Solana. It stands for Shared Object. The Hello World program we wrote is a Rust program compiled to Berkeley Packet Format, BPF, and stored as an executable and linkable format, ELF, Shared Object. All right, and it's done. That was pretty quick. And look, it tells us right here how to deploy it. So we'll just take this one and paste it down in here and hit enter. And there's our program ID. How cool is that? And you may have an insufficient funds where this will fail if you didn't get more funds in the beginning like I did. If so, it's really easy. You just go back to fund account. So you just go previous step, back to fund account, put in your address, get some more tokens, and you're good to go. And then just rerun that command and you'll be fine. After successfully deploying the program, on success, the CLI will print the program ID of the deployed contract, and we can copy that if we'd like. And then if we visit the Explorer, switch it over to Devnet, and then paste in our program ID, and there it is. How cool is that? So you'll notice the field executable is now set to yes because the address we're looking up is for a program which can be called executed. Boom. So now we're going to save the program and its author secret keys. Before we can move to the next step, we want to save 2 important variables. So in our terminal, we're going to run this command, cat config Solana ID JSON. So we'll run that in here. Hit enter, and then we will need this, and we will copy that. And then we are going to want to go to our source component call. And if we scroll up or down, depending on where in the file it opens you up at, we can find here. So pair the secret key is what we just generated. So we will highlight this null. and paste in our string. So now we want the program secret key, and we can find that under the hello world keypair JSON. So that's going to be in dist. And then there it is. And we'll just take this one. Make sure you get this whole thing. Go back to call. Oh, nope. We need the semicolon. Right there. Plop it in. All right. Hit it with a save. All right. And now we can go back here. Moment of truth. Click verify. Congratulations. You've just deployed a program on the Solana Devnet. Look at that. Awesome. So at this point, we deployed our dummy smart contract to Solana's Devnet cluster. We're finally ready for the big moment, interacting with the program by calling its functionality from the UI. As always, if you had any trouble following this tutorial or simply would like to discuss Solana or Data Hub tech, you can join our Discord in the link down below. I look forward to seeing you there, and until next time, happy coding.